Hi everyone! So a few days ago I posted my video talking about the final patch notes for Season 26, and as a lot of people in the comment section had rightly pointed out, I didn't really talk much about this line here that I just highlighted, the adjusted XP rewards. So if you want to see the rest of my summary, you might want to see that and go check it out. It's in the description. But I wanted to take this and put it into perspective individually because I think this is a bigger topic. A lot of people seemed really upset that there is a nerf because this is a nerf, but I'm not really surprised. Now the thing is that on the PTR we had insane XP per hour values. So if you have seen my other video, I was able to farm 0 to 1000 Paragon twice in 1 hour. So you can do that quite reliably playing a Marauder Bullish Demon Hunter. And now it seems like this XP reward is roughly halved. So I have a little screenshot here. This is the XP turn-in rewards of a GR 150. Thank you to Quento, by the way. So what we're looking at here is the closing XP unpooled, because this is going to be like the standard state of things when you clear wave 150. Now wave 150 with a Marauder Demon Hunter will probably take something like 2 minutes or so. You have a 30 seconds closing timer, you have a 10 second starting timer, and you have like maybe 5 seconds or so where you actually have to open the portal and stuff like this. So you have like 45 second downtime, and maybe a little bit more if you also want to sort out your loot in between. But this means that a run will take somewhere between 2 minutes 45 to 3 minutes or so if you do this properly and you reach 150 in 2 minutes every single time, which I believe is quite doable for people that have a little bit of experience with this game mode. Now the thing is that we are not actually clearing a GR 150 to get the full XP rewards, because in a GR you also get XP from kills. In Echoing Nightmares you get essentially 0 from kills. So you only have the closing reward and you have nothing from kills. So we have to find the GR tier that is equivalent to this. And that is 139. So if you look at this here, if you clear a full GR 139, it's 430 billion, which is pretty much exactly this number. And now you have to think about, will you be able to clear a GR 139 in 2 minutes? And the answer is hell no. I also want to put this a bit into perspective of the XP per hour values that you will regularly get not playing Echoing Nightmares. So here are some values that I have from my Season 25 Inner Monk. You know, the big stick inner setup that a lot of people have played. That was really fast, one of the best speed farming builds in the game for solo players. So that was Season 25 with soul shards, where I was farming like GR 122s in roughly 2 minutes, 45 seconds downtime, and I was getting something like 4 trillion experience per hour. Now it's gonna be Season 26 and Inner Monk is not gonna have any soul shards anymore, and you're gonna play water. So you can definitely reduce this by something like 10 tiers, and your XP per hour playing like a really well optimized monk really well is gonna be something like 2.5 trillion, 3 trillion if you go a bit higher, something like this per hour. So it's not exactly very high. If you're talking about 4-man red groups, which are gonna be the best 4-man XP meta, we can say maybe like early season reds is gonna be something like a GR 116 or 118, something like that. 1.5 minutes, 45 seconds downtime. That's something like 4 trillion XP per hour. And it will clear up maybe a bit more to something like 5 trillion. Maybe late season it's gonna be something like 6 trillion or so, with pools a bit more. But we're not really looking at that anyway. And now we have the Echoing Nightmares. As I had described, one Echoing Nightmare wave 150 clear is roughly the equivalent of a GR 139. And if you look at a 2-minute run with 60 seconds downtime, you can reach something like 8.6 trillion. You can get even faster than this. You can reach like 9 up to 10 trillion XP per hour as a solo player playing Echoing Nightmare. Even if you take this a little bit more chill, or you don't have like the most optimal setup right away at the start of the season, and we increase this to 3 minutes clear time and 60 seconds, we are still looking at over 6 trillion XP per hour that you get while doing Echoing Nightmares, chaining them back to back. So again, if you compare this to something like, a really good solo water Inner Monk next season, doing something like 2.5 trillion or so per hour, realistically it might be a bit slower or so early on, so maybe 2 trillion. This is still more than triple, up to quadruple the XP per hour that you can gain farming solo GRs. And even for well-optimized rats groups, it will take a long time to actually beat this Echoing Nightmare system, because eventually they will creep up to high enough levels where pools will become worth it, and then you can maybe think about not running Echoing Nightmares anymore. But the bottom line is, Echoing Nightmares are going to be way more rewarding than what you're going to get in GRs anyway, and it is probably still overall better than the XP per hour values that you gained in Season 25 or Season 24 with the Ethereal and the Soul Shards buff. Now there's one thing to consider, and that is the actual drop rate of Petrified Screams. Now on the PTR, we know it was 100%, and I was 99% sure that it will not stay 100% drop rate. Now they said it was adjusted, so we have literally no clue how much it will actually drop. And this is gonna be kind of the deciding factor here in how much Paragons you're actually gonna gain in the end. Because Echoing Nightmares are way more rewarding, and even without the shield pun, I expect them to be rather easy. But again, this is a little bit of a question mark because of this. So this could mean either they made it harder even more, or they made it easier because they removed the shield pylon, so who knows. But in the end, I think that Wave 150 is going to be kind of the gold standard for one of the best builds, or just, make a Marauder the Age and do it. And the limiting factor is really going to be the amount of keys that you're going to get. So if you get like, 10% drop rate or something like this, you run 10 GRs, you run 1 Echoing Nightmare, yeah, it's not going to boost your overall XP per hour all that much as a pure solo player. But if the drop rate is like 20%, that's already fairly decent. So you can run 5 GRs and you can run 1 Echoing Nightmare, you will see a sizable boost in your XP per hour like this. Now the really big gains will come when you do this in groups, because you want to do some kind of rifted forward system, I guess, where you just LFG and you say, okay, I have 5 keys and I'm looking for other 3 people that have 5 keys, and suddenly you multiply the amount of keys that you have and you can just chain Echoing Nightmares back to back to back to get massive amounts of XP. So I expect this is going to be the main way to farm experience. So most people are going to like chill out and solo play, farm up the keys, and then once in a while you're going to group up with some people and you get mad amounts of Paragons. What this also means is that for solo players, Season 26 is actually probably one of the worst seasons almost ever. And being a hardcore SSF player myself, I guess I just gotta suck it up, but this is how it be. What you're also gonna see is that we're gonna see some kind of like boosting system, I guess, where, like really high Paragon dudes are just gonna profit a lot from inviting noobs to their party that bring keys to them, and it's gonna like chain Echoing Nightmares back to back, and they're probably not even gonna run red runs. So if you have like a large enough army providing you with keys and they want to get carried, then they will probably gladly pay the key and open it for you. So I'm quite curious to see how this will play out in the end. But on the other hand, there's the advantage for extremely casual players to actually gain quite a lot of Paragons by just grinding up some keys and then grouping up with other people, multiplying the value of their Petrified Screams. And as I mentioned here, you get a lot of Paragons. You get a lot of XP, 6 trillion, 8 trillion per hour or so is very doable. And I believe this is way beyond what most people have ever experienced in their lives anyway. If you recall my numbers here, for example, these 2-minute 112 total speedruns that I would expect on like a, 1500 Paragon Monk or so, it is actually fairly high up already. And I believe that most people will probably farm at a little bit lower level. They're gonna get a little bit less XP. So most people are maybe sitting at like 1 trillion or 1.5 trillion per hour only. And you can also see that if you are chaining these Echoing Nightmares back to back, how fast your Paragons actually are. So here is like Paragon 0 to 2000 is a matter of 18 hours. You could literally do this in 1 day if you want. Even 3000 Paragons could be done in 60 hours only. And this is with like a chill time of 3 minutes per run. If you do this faster, this can go, sub 2 days actually. So even Sunday night, you could theoretically see the first Paragon 3K guy on season start. In any case, I hope this cleared up some things for you. So in short, the XP nerf from PTR to live patch is almost exactly half, but it was way beyond, the wildest dreams that we have ever had in terms of XP per hour on the PTR. And even this half nerf is still ridiculous XP. So I expect that a lot of people will actually reach higher Paragons than usual. And if you do this with a rifted forward LFG system then you can really profit from this season theme. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated about more things season 26, so I want to also make like a full guide for the Echoing Nightmare to get you guys to wave 150 every single time. And there's going to be more build guides, there's going to be more like other stuff coming up in the near future, so stay tuned for this. We're also going to have the Maxwell updates out probably this weekend, so you can also go check out everything there. Hope you liked this video, subscribe for more Diablo content, and see you guys next time.